All right, here we are. We made it to Friday. I am rolling around in an F450 flatbed dually, hauling around a pressure washer. We had a little bit of a madhouse at the shop, which is kind of weird. We have so many pickup trucks, so many pickup trucks, an insane amount of pickup trucks. Not real. I mean, well, you probably have 30 or 40 of them, and then 10 or 15 of them are for supervisors. So they're at the shop, but the supervisors are out with other trucks and other crews and stuff, so I can't use their trucks because I don't have the fucking keys. Um, so that sucks. Um, and I don't know where the other trucks are. I have no idea why my boss and I are baffled. Because I was like, hey, I need to go. I need a pickup truck to haul this power washing trailer to go wash out a guy, and there are no pickup trucks. We have an F-150 and a Festiva. That's it. And then we do have an F-450 flatbed, which I'm driving right now, which I hope I don't fucking hit the hitch because it sits really fucking low. The bed on this thing is it's a long bed, but it's also extended. It's like this. You could put a chassis, cab and chassis, or a fucking box on the back of this thing. It's so long. It's like the same exact thing as our box truck, except this is a crew cab, so it's just as long. And the hitch sticks way out there. And the only hitch that I could find was a regular, straight hitch. I need a hitch that lifts the trailer up more because the trailer's like actually angled down a little bit since it sticks so far out there. And I got a fully loaded Landa trailer with 500 gallons of water. Anyways, my job got canceled today. I got in and I was trying to call the guy that I was supposed to be working with, and he was not answering. And then my boss calls me and I'm like, hey, I actually can't get a hold of my coworker here. He said, oh, yeah, well, that's because he's on a different job, another job that was all fucked up. He had to go to it. So your job's canceled today. I was going to be sucking out a pit somewhere with a vac truck. Pretty simple job, I imagine, but I had no information on the job. I'm like, all it says is to go to this place, and that's it. I don't know what I'm doing there. It says you'll be sucking out a pit, but the job got canceled. So just mosey around the shop or whatever. I'm like, okay. So I ended up going inside and I did some online trainings and stuff. got I'm fully done with my trainings. Well, there's a couple of cyber security trainings that I need to do still because we got a couple of people that I know opened up some emails, and like my company sends out random emails to see if people are going to be secure, um, in order to protect from what happened, because there was an actual hacking attempt and people opened up the emails. Two people opened them up, and I guess one of them, they bought $10,000 worth of gift cards and sent them to the hackers, which is fucking like, I'm like, whoa. He's like, yeah, really fucked up. And that wasn't, well, that was a guy, I think I know him, but he doesn't work at our branch. But he opened up the same email or something like that, and it was like a fake thing from a boss of ours that said, hey, will you go buy $10,000 worth of gift cards and send them to this address? And he just fucking did it. Just fucking straight up did it. No questions, anything. Is that a normal thing that we do? I have no idea. But got fucking hacked. Not cool. And I've heard of that happening to people, um, where I think the story was a guy, his grandma got a phone call, and it was a gift card situation, and I don't know if his grandma actually went through with it or not, but yeah, getting them older people, you can get them easy. They don't know the technology that's going out there. They don't know anything. The technology is actually pretty freaking good, especially right now, like, and in the future, because people can hack your voice and everything, and all they need is, I mean, it's probably going to be really, really bad pretty soon, because if you make a YouTube video, but you're not like a big YouTube star, so you don't have like super duper security, people can get your voice. They can find out where you are, get into your shit, and then hack your family or whatever. So I'm kind of glad I'm not on social media for real. I am on social media, but nothing has my full real name. Um, and I have absolutely no friends, no family, nothing like that on there. So I would think that I'm a little less hackable. I mean, I could still get hacked, obviously, but as far as people stealing my identity, that's a fake identity, bitch. Anyways, I'm really excited. Yesterday, I hurried and I scurried, and I got off of work, and I sat down in my car, and I was ready to leave. I was headed to the scrapyard. I was so excited, or the junkyard, the pick and pull place. And I looked up. We have three of them here in Kansas City, and one of them happened to be very, very close. It's one that I've never been to. It was very close to my shop. So, and I was scurrying because they close early. They close at like 5:30, and I got off of work at, I think, 3, and I thought I was gonna have to drive like half an hour to get to one, because there's a ton of scrap yards all over the place, but there's a particular one that I like to go to. And then I looked it up, and there's one right around the corner of my freaking shop. So I was like, hell yeah! So I went there, and I need a spitter. I don't want to use my coffee cup. I gotta. Damn it! I can clean the coffee cup. I already had 2 cups today. Can you tell? Can you tell? Um, the yeah, I go to the pick and pull place, and I walk in, and there's a really nice, sweet lady standing there, and I signed the paperwork, and I paid her $3, and I was like, hey, I've looked it up online, and there's you sell 2 different types of fuse boxes, one with harness, one without harness. What technically is a harness? Because I will remove whatever it is to be a harness. Like if I just cut the wires down to like 3 inches or so, that's not, is that a harness or not a harness? Because I going through and removing every fucking plug out of a fuse box to make it completely bare sounds asinine. She's like, no, no, you can cut the wires as long as it doesn't have like any connectors or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go up in there, and I'm walking around, and I find a couple of 90s Chevys, but I'm looking for early 90s Chevys, TBI Chevys, and every single one of them had the newer style dash in it. So they were all Vortec. I think one of them was, but with that newer style dash, it had more updated shit. And I was looking for the old school Chevy stuff, and I couldn't really find any, which is really weird that there were no early 90s Chevy trucks there. And there was a ton of them. Tahoes, Suburbans, 1500 pickups, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, doesn't matter. They're all the same. So and they have 3 fuse boxes. They have one with the relays underneath the hood. They have another one underneath the dash that has like the blinker relays and door chime and all that other shit. And then there's another one on the left side of the dash. You have to open the door to get to it. And all these trucks were missing the driver's side door handle. And I had to reach in and fucking pull on these levers to try to get the fucking doors open. They're all fucking jangled up and shit. It was a pain to get the doors open. But I looked at them, and the ones inside like beside the dash to open the door to get to them, those are just mini fuses. There's nothing crazy in there. It's just a little panel with mini fuses. I was like, oh, I don't think I need that. And I go underneath the dash, and that it's got a few fuses and stuff, and it's got like all the good stuff. But the one underneath the hood has all the relays, and since my truck isn't going to have like half of the stuff that these other trucks require, I'm going to have a lot of open spots on this fuse box. So I decided just to grab the one from under the hood. It's got a nice cap on it. It's real detailed. And so I just grabbed that one. I just need the one fuse box, but for my blinker relays and stuff, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm doing with all that stuff, because I'm not going to, but I have some relays and shit with my original truck. I still have all the original equipment that my 79 came with, so I'm going to try to reuse some of that stuff, but it's not going to look factory. I mean, none of this is going to look factory, but the fuse box that I got is super nice. Like it's just got one little, short run of wire coming out the side. I'm going to be able to splice into those wires and get everything hooked up, and it's going to look really nice. I think it's going to make things look really good. And I'll have to get one of those wire covers, wire loom things, and put it over it. I don't want to do the electrical tape deal. I'd rather something that if I do have issues with wiring, I don't have to undo a bunch of fucking electrical tape and all that shit. I'd rather it just be something, or I could do zip ties. I could just zip tie them all together but leave them in plain sight. I mean, you're not going to be able to see these wires. They're going to be underneath and everything. So I don't know. But what are you doing? You nudging out to me? There's a dump truck that pulled up and he stopped so I could pass. And then as I'm getting closer to him, he keeps like pulling forward and hitting the brakes, pulling forward, hitting the brakes. I'm like, am I keeping you too long, fuckhead? So I grabbed the fuse box. I just chopped the wires off. I left like 3 inches of wire. And then even the power cable that's bolted to it, I just cut the power wire instead of unbolting it or anything. And I have it. And I'm like, cool. And I throw it in my bucket. I just threw a bunch of tools in a bucket and carried that around with me. And then I walk over and I find a fucking Suburban, a square body Suburban. I'm like, fuck yes. So I look at it, I'm going through, and I look in the back seat, and there's 2 perfect original taillight lenses with the trim. And they're in really good shape. Like, they're a little bit sun faded, but that can be fixed. And I also probably wouldn't fix it. But they're perfect. And mine are cracked a little bit. The trim is kind of peeled off and not looking too good. So I was like, man, I should probably grab these. And I looked them up. They're only like $15 a piece. I'm like, that's not bad. Because if I get on Amazon and I try to order a fucking taillight lens, if I need one, they're going to be cheap Chinese junk that aren't going to look right and might not fit well. So I went ahead and grabbed these taillight lenses. And then I was like, let's just go look around for some speakers. I was looking for an Equinox. I found an Equinox. But before that, I found a Ford Taurus. It was like a 2012 Ford Taurus. But I don't know if it was a 2012. It looked newer than that. It looked really nice. It just had a front impact, and the airbags were all blown on it. And I was like, let me see about these door speakers, because this is like a newer car that probably has decent speakers in it. Let me open it up and check it out. So the first one, I took off the passenger side front door, and I undid all the bolts for the door panel, and I pulled the door panel out, and then I wedged a fucking tail light, not the tail light that I'm taking, but a different tail light I found on the ground. Wedged that in the door panel because I couldn't get it off. You have to roll the window down, and there's more screws and shit to take off, and it's, I don't know. It was a pain in the ass. So I was like, I don't care about the fucking door panel. I just bent it backwards and shoved a wedge in there so I could get to the bolts and unbolt the speaker. And it's a 6x8 speaker. It's not a 6x9. So it's kind of a niche size speaker, I guess. I don't know. The 6x9s are common. And I pull it out and it says 50 watt Ford, made in China. It's all plastic housing. It's got 4 wires to one speaker. There's no tweeter. There's no anything. There's a couple of capacitors and shit, but it's just a regular old speaker. So I'm like, okay. And so I grab it, and then I go to the Equinox. And I'm like, let me check the Equinox speaker also. And I look at that one. It's a 5-inch speaker, 5-inch round, 5.5, 6. I don't know what it was. I didn't measure it. But just a round speaker. And it didn't look impressive at all. And it said it was a 20 watt speaker. So I was like, I think the Ford's got better speakers. So I went back to the Ford. I just used my box knife and I just cut the fucking door panel. I kind of felt bad because if somebody goes there and they want a door panel, they need a replacement door panel. This is a perfect, like brand new looking door panel. And I just razor blade cut the fucking hole out because I didn't want to undo all the bolts and all that shit and wedge it out and everything. I was like, I'll just cut a fucking hole where the speaker is. I tried to cut it like just the speaker grate off and then leave it there. So if somebody did want it, but I ended up having to cut the cup holder out of the bottom of it, where like the little holder is at the bottom. I cut the cup holder out. I had to cut a little bit higher to get to all the bolts. But I got it out, just cut the wires. Still got the connectors. So, and they come, it's a speaker that's held into it's got like a housing unit. So I just left it all connected and I just called it speakers and I took it in there. And then I went to go pay for everything. But I thought the speakers were $16 a piece when I was adding up my stuff and talking to the wife about how much I'm going to be using. Speakers are only $8 a piece. So I saved myself quite a bit of money there, because I thought it was going to be 16 plus 8. So it was like $20 cheaper, $24 cheaper than what I was expecting. But that soon fell to fucking shit whenever I go in there. The old lady left. She's gone. And there's this little kid there. And I bring it, I'm just showing him all my stuff. And technically on the parts website, a fuse box cover, just the lid for a fuse box, is $8. And then the fuse box is $30 without a harness, bare. And I left a couple of, because I knew she said I was going to have to pay like $8 for a relay. I didn't look up like how much relays cost, like from O'Reilly or whatever. I figured these would probably be cheaper and it'd just be easier just to keep the relays that are with the deal. But I take it in there, like, okay, yeah, you're going to have to, it's a full harness because it has relays. I'm like, what? Don't you have like a different price for the relays? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, fuck the relays, and I take them out. He's like, well, it's still a full harness because it has a power cable attached to it. I'm like, what? This 3-inch wire with a connector that's just screwed to it? That makes it a harness? I was like, I'll take that off. Like, I don't need that. I don't need that. He's like, well, let me go check. And he takes it back in the back room and he talks to the manager on duty or whatever. And they were like, no, that's a fucking bare harness. But charge him for the fuses. I'm like, oh, fuck. How much are the fucking fuses? He's like, well, we'll just charge you $1. I'm like, okay, you fucking stingy bitches. You stingy motherfucker. But whatever. So I paid $95. I got 2 speakers, 2 taillight lenses, and a fuse box without the relays. But I got the fuse box lid for free, which is cool. So I can replace those relays. I thought about taking a picture of it before I removed them, just to make sure I get the right shit, but I ended up just taking them out and tossing them in their little basket of return shit that people don't want to pay for. And the kid seemed really annoyed with me, but I'm like, dude, I'm not paying $30 for a 3-inch piece of wire. The fuck are you talking about? So, got it all taken care of. And now I'm at the landfill. Just gotta wait in line at the landfill. I gotta pay, or I don't know. Got water with me. It can be raining out here, and they'll charge you for fucking water. It can be raining at the landfill, and you pull in with the fucking Landa with 500 gallons of water in it. Like, we need you to pay for the water that you're putting on the ground. It's like, it's raining. I'm going to use like 50 gallons of water. And then, because you have to go in, you have to weigh in, and then you got to weigh out so they can charge you for the water that you put on their fucking property. It's fucking dumb. But yeah, I got all the shit that I wanted from the landfill or not the landfill, the junkyard for right now. I will be going back, and now that I look back, that square body had a nice windshield in it. So if I can sweet talk my wife into letting me go back there, I can grab that windshield. But I can get a windshield pretty cheap at any point in time. People are parting out square bodies all the time. So I don't know. I'll check out, see what the price is for that, but it's probably going to be way too much for what it is, compared to what I can just pay some random dude to snag a windshield out of his truck. As long as it's not broken. And the window seals, they're really easy on the square bodies because it's a compression fit. So you just like put the seal in on the window, like around the window or whatever, and then you put the windshield in there, and then there's this snap ring. It's not a snap ring, but it's just like this thick piece of wire type of stuff that you just shove in there, and that holds the window in. There's no sealant, there's no anything. It's just put it on there. So that's pretty cool. But I will have to buy a new window seal because I highly doubt these 40-year-old window seals are going to be any good off of any of these trucks. They're probably going to damage them when I take them out. But I mean, if I can, I will. I mean, I'll save some money. Um, yep. And then I went home. My wife bought Culver's for dinner, so I had a nice little Culver's dinner. Pretty delicious. Get a mushroom and Swiss. Add bacon. They forgot the fucking bacon. Fuckers. And I bought some beer. I bought some summer shandy, Leinenkugel or whatever. I haven't really drank too many of those in my life, but something felt right about them, so I was like, I'm gonna grab a couple of these. Grabbed a 6-pack bottles, and I drank 2 of them last night with dinner. It was pretty good. And then me and my son, we played Fortnite. He was so excited to play Fortnite. We did not do. I think I placed 7th. Well, I only played 1 round. I was like, I'm playing 1 and we're done. But he's working on getting a bunch of points to level up and everything. Super fucking excited! So this weekend, I have a family reunion I'm supposed to go to. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to try to wake up early and go out and try to get that fuse box mounted somewhere in some way. Or at least just look at it. And I might, my buddy has a 3D printer, but I don't know, I don't even know what type of bracket I would want. But I probably end up just taking some of the housing off of the fuse box and then just screwing it to the firewall or screwing it to the glove box and then just call it good. And then I can put all the whole fuse panel back together and it'll be good. But I'm not sure. Not quite sure yet. And then, yeah, I'm going to have to look at my other fuse box, the original fuse box, and try to figure out how to integrate some of the other stuff because there isn't a blinker spot on this fuse box. But maybe I can, I don't know, modify the old fuse box enough to make it work. Or just wire up some connectors to the leads from the blinker relay and just use that, the blinker flasher relay. Yeah, I'm ready to get this thing wired up, boys. Wired up! Yeah, thinking back, I should have, like, they weren't suspecting me of anything. I mean, and not that I feel like stealing, but they're fucking making a killing on all these trucks. If I throw a couple of relays in my boot, or I should have pulled all the fuses out and threw those in my boot, like, they wouldn't give a fuck. Well, they would if they knew about it. But if they don't know about it, who knows? Those relays that I took out and I threw in that bucket, nobody's going to take those. Those are going to go into like a recycling, I don't know if they recycle, or just like a random bin because they're not, nobody knows what they came from. And nobody's going to be like, ooh, I need a relay. Let me look through the box of relays or whatever. I don't think so. Most people are going to just go buy new shit. So I'm going to look up what the new shit is. And if the new shit is actually expensive, I will go back to the junkyard and snag the relays off of another truck and pay the $8 for them or whatever. But I'm going to have to pause here because I'm pulling up. Pulling up onto the scale. All right, well, that was easy. I thought I was going to have to get out of the truck and walk up there and fucking explain my situation, but I just rolled the window down and was able to talk to the speaker, which I've never been able to do that before. They usually like, come over here. I'm like, fuck. All right, hold on. Let me put it in park. Let me go over there and talk to you. But the guy didn't say anything about reweighing, but I should probably reweigh. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be interesting. I might even put my new taillight lenses in. I know because when I was power washing the truck the other day, I blasted those taillight lenses and some of the trim was kind of coming off, but it kind of looks kind of just fits the truck that the trim is a little twisted and stuff. But if I don't know, those are, I don't know if they're highly sought after, but those taillights are really old, very brittle, and they're all broken. And these ones that I snagged are not. So it was just hard for me to not take them. I don't know. I doubt they're kind of hard to find, but people will pay extra for original equipment rather than buy the Chinese fucking bullshit or the fucking LED stuff. I don't want no LEDs on my truck. The only LEDs are gonna be on the inside of the cab. All the other bulbs are gonna be the original bulbs and stuff. And also because I learned that with my 2006 GMC because it had regular bulbs everywhere. And when I did a whole LED swap on the entire truck, my blinker was a hyper flash blinker. Like it was flashing faster than if you have a blinker out or whatever. It was just like like super fast blinker all the way around. The only time it would blink slightly normal was when you put the hazards on. But they draw so little electricity that the blinker relay just doesn't know how to handle it. So I want to use original lighting because it fits the time period. I don't like the LED look on the square bodies. I don't know. I like the yellow, the old looking lights. I don't want them LEDs or whatever. Now the only thing I might do that would be LED would be on the headache rack. And now I'm super excited about making this like a recovery vehicle or like a roadside service vehicle, just just whenever I'm around and if anybody needs anything. I really want to do that. And so I'm thinking maybe find an old style yellow flashing rotator light or whatever, and I could mount that to the top of the truck or the headache rack or something. Because I think that would be kind of cool. I'm saying I would maybe use LEDs. I would look for older material first before I would go with the LED stuff. But and LED flashers would be okay. Whenever I click the button for the service lights or whatever. So, man, am I gonna need 4-wheel drive to get up this fucking hill? These Fords are all aluminum. They're so light now. And trying to pull a heavy trailer uphill on gravel, you damn near need fucking 4-wheel drive because it's too light. Yeah, you get better gas mileage on the highways and stuff, but you need a little bit of weight to your truck. Now, this has got the big old flatbed on there, so that weighs a shitload more than the original bed, aluminum and fiberglass. I don't know if the wheel wells on the dualies are fiberglass, but I think we bought it. We had the dealership put this bed on the truck. I don't think our company did the swap. But here I am. I'm arriving on site. I did not bring a Tyvek or anything with me to do the washout. So I may get completely. I'm wearing nice clean pants, nice clean shirt. My boots are actually not so dirty today. And now I'm going to have to crawl in the back of this fucking truck to wash it out. And I'm going to get soaked, most likely. But whatever. I got more. I can get a brand new shirt. And I do have a couple of pairs of pants over there. So it shouldn't be a big deal. He's looking at me like, what the fuck? Why are you driving that truck? Sorry, man. I'll pull it far away so I don't get any splatters on this truck. All right, well, I'm going to end it here. Keep all 18 down, and I'll talk to you later.